Joining me now by phone to talk about the importance of this push against the Biden administration and also to give us an update on the efforts to raise the debt ceiling in the Senate is Senator Kevin Cramer of North Dakota, who is a member of the Senate Budget Committee, Banking Committee, and Armed Services Committee. Senator, welcome back to the program.
Tony, it's great to be with you. Thanks for the opportunity.
So we were just discussing, you probably heard part of the conversation there with Harris, that, there's going to be pressure on members of the House, Democratic members, to support this, just as we saw the bipartisan effort there in the Senate. Of course, the president committed to veto this. But this is quite significant because I think it sets up another one of those contrasts between the Republican and Democratic leadership bodies of this country.
There's no question, Tony. And, the one thing about the House of Representatives, and I had the great honor of serving 6 years there. I know you did as well. It's designed by our founders to be responsive to the voters, and you have a very narrow majority, of course, that led by Democrats. But that narrow majority, of course, doesn't have a lot of room for partisan politics if, in fact, they want to maintain the majority. And so I think it's going to be fascinating to see what these swing district Democrats do when confronted with this, very obvious, in my view, very obvious opportunity to differentiate themselves from their socialist brothers and sisters that are really running the Democratic House.
What would you say to those who say, well, look, this is, the president's going to veto this. This is a waste of time. Why are you doing this?
Well, first of all, a couple of things. One is force the veto. Second of all, symbols do matter. If it's a symbolic vote, it's a reflection. By the way, the country is divided about the same way on this specific issue. It's when you get to the finer points of it, like you can lose your job. The fines to businesses are like $13,600 per violation. I mean, that's when it really loses its steam. And so I think it's important to state the case. I think the votes matter because it sends a message. And remember, it also provides an opportunity, along with the courts. As you know, the Fifth Circuit has already put a nationwide stay on this mandate. It provides an off-ramp for the president if he wants to say, look, I think this is a good idea. I tried to mandate it. The courts have put a stay on it. The Congress has spoken. The people have spoken through their representatives. I'll withdraw the rulemaking. He could actually withdraw the executive order. He could actually be somewhat heroic in this if he handled it the right way. I don't have a lot of hope for that, Tony.
Bill Clinton responded that way back in the 90s, kind of saying, all right, look, I know I'm boxed in, and he looked reasonable. So I think you're absolutely right. We just got about a minute left. I want to quickly get your read on the actions by the Senate earlier today to set up the debt ceiling increase. Where's that stand?
So we're going to have the final vote tonight. As you know, they boxed a lot of members in, all of us in a tough spot. There is the cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, some farm programs, other things that are important to the country that need to be extended. Not the cuts, but the repeal of them for a while because of this pandemic. But they tied that to a procedural rule that allows Democrats to raise the debt ceiling all by themselves, something that we've said all along, that Mitch McConnell said all along they'd have to do. So it's a little bit wonky. It's a little bit weird. It's going to pass with probably 12, 14, 15 Republicans joining all the Democrats. Tough spot to be in, but next week it'll be Democrats alone that will be raising the debt ceiling, and they should because they're doing all the debt increasing.
Well, that's right. They're doing all the spending. Senator Cramer, always great to talk with you. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and if I don't talk to you before, have a very Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Tony.